What is up, Fanatics? It's 8 p.m. Mountain Time. That means another episode of Home Theater Fanatics Live. Tonight is episode 180, and we have a bomb episode for you. Joining us for the first time ever is the one and the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Shane of Shane at the Movies. Welcome,
What's up, guys? Jiles, thank you for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
I totally feel like you're going to be the next Instagram sensation. So I thought to myself, how can I be selfish and get in front of this and, really show everyone that I'm, able to identify the talent out there.
Right? You got good taste. You got good taste. That's what's up.
I think so. I think maybe to get started, you can introduce yourself to everyone and let people know kind of what you're all about. What's up with you, man? What's up?
Yeah. All right. What I'm all about. All right. Well, first of all, I'm Shane from Shane at the Movies. I'm basically on Instagram, and for the longest time, I've been a longtime movie buff. Love all things cinema, whether it's the classics, whether it's the current Marvel stuff, whether it's the controversies surrounding WB and DC comics, for all that, all that jazz. I'm all for it, man. So, me and movies have been like this. All right. That's awesome. And now Jiles is discovering me. That's I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll see.
It's a thing. It's a thing. And for everybody else that's out there that's watching right now, we're performing an experiment today with Instagram. And what I've discovered is that I can stream this to Instagram, but what happens is that the image that you see here on YouTube or Facebook is 16:9 landscape. Well, Instagram's just doing the portrait piece of this. So you get to see my microphone and Iron Man. So, we're not on there at all.
That's okay. Listen, Iron Man is more important. Iron Man is more important. You and Iron Man should be, that's all that people should be seeing.
They're like 15 or 20 people that are just logged on Instagram, and they're all like, what's going on?
Yes, you are talking to Tony Stark. That is what's happening right now.
If I do this, I'm totally on.
Oh wait. So if I do this, what happens?
They can totally see us. Yeah, they can totally see us now. It's funny. I have it up on my phone right now. And okay, I'm not going to force it. That this is an experiment. I'll figure out how to deal with that stuff later. But it's
sure. But we can do this.
No, we were successful.
How about this?
Oh, that's even better. Now you get to see just a little bit of your elbow. And not you at all. Yeah, just the finger come. Oh, you know what? People might like that better if we just put our fingers up and as we talked, did like little. Here, I'll do this too.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I can't get that far over. It's pulling all my cables off.
Sorry, bud. Sorry.
All right, so
you got a bad setup, man. You got a bad setup. You got to be prepared for this. Come on.
I know. So first question of the night, and we'll take some questions as we go through on this stuff. And so Dan Black, welcome, Dan. So he says, so speaking of movies, how much better is the Panasonic UB820 versus the Xbox Series X? I would say that there's no comparison whatsoever. If you want to watch movies, discs, get the Panasonic. if you want to play games, use the Xbox. I have both of those, and well, I've got the step up on the Panasonic, but they're all pretty much the same, and it's awesome. Just spend the money and be super happy in 4K glory. That's all I got to say. And, Shane, what do you think? Any thoughts on that? I'm not going to put you on the spot for the home theater knowledge, but
no. So I'll tell you this. So I've been I don't know what to call it. It's not a home theater geek, but maybe a semi home theater geek. Okay,
a home theater fanatic.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Home theater fanatic. Yes. Thank you for correcting me. Yes.
That's the one.
I've been a mini home theater fanatic for a few years. I'll tell you this much. I remember when the PS3 first came out, and I remember that for a lot of people was that was their dedicated Blu-ray player, right? Sure. It was either you get the PS3 or you get a dedicated Blu-ray player, and most people were like, no, I'm just going to get the PS3, right? So despite, maybe losing the gaming wars for that year, right? Or that era, I think Xbox 360 was a little more popular in terms of where home theater people were, right? And gamers were. If you were someone who actually wanted to watch movies like Blu-ray films, right? You were getting a PS3, right? Over the 360, right? And that was your dedicated system. And for all the crap that PS3 got, right? It was too fat, the shape was weird, this and that, whatever, right? It was a great player for Blu-ray discs, right? And I think that trend continued, whether it was the PS4, even though they only did 1080p, they didn't go into 4K. Sure. But now we're at the PS5, and I actually own a PS5. And funny enough, despite that, I believe it can play 4K UHD discs, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Despite having that capability, and I've tested like a couple discs, use it for demos. They've been nice. They play adequately. For the most part, I think if you are someone who has like a decent system in place, nothing too fancy, whether it's just a sound bar, whether it's maybe a couple tower speakers, some satellite rear speakers, that gaming system is going to work. It's going to work perfectly, right? But I think if you're getting into top tier territory, that's where things get a little more tricky. I think if you have, equipment that's over a few $1,000s, make the investment into getting a Panasonic. Forget the gaming system. That's where you definitely want to go for the best hardware that you can have.
I think that's very well said. So everyone out there, it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
Is it good? Maybe. So
I think the difference is it good versus great, right?
Sure. Yeah, it'll absolutely function. It'll get you where you need to go. And I guess if you're just trying to make that last 10%, right? Yeah. And Hi-Fi Haven said that his PS3
my PS3 sounded like an F16.
Yeah. So,
hey, bro, mine was too back in the day. Let's just be honest. We all had that issue, or most of us did. God.
I still don't have a PS5, believe it or not. I've just not.
Are you an Xbox fan? Is this where the controversy is going to start?
No, there's no controversy. I actually like both of them.
Okay.
But I got an Xbox on launch day, and I've passively shopped for a PS5, if that makes sense. And passively shopping for a PS5, I think, equates to you just don't get one.
Right.
Walk into a Best Buy, I'm like, oh, you got a PS5 now? All right. That kind of thing, right? So it just hasn't worked out. But one of these days, I guess the PlayStation 6 will come out, and but I really want to get the new. I think the second version of the VR technology for PlayStation is coming out. I think. Something like that is coming at some point in the not distant future.
Are they still rumors, or have they confirmed that?
As far as I know, it's all rumors.
Yeah.
But I feel fairly confident that it's coming. As that Apple, I think I'm fairly confident in the rumors that their VR headset is going to come as well. Right. So I think it's definitely going to happen. It's just a matter of time. So if that comes, I might have to just force myself to buy one, even though it's maybe the second half of the cycle for the PS5, that 5 or 8 year arc or whatever.
But I mean, that's when the kinks are all worked out, right? So you would probably benefit more. So when I got my PS4, it was during the second half of the cycle.
Sure.
It was towards the end days of PS4, right? There were rumors that PS5 was going to come out, and I was like, bullshit. The PS5
Never
is
going to
not going to
happen.
come out. No, no. All of a sudden, the PS5, the news is like the official announcement happens, this and that. I'm like, oh man, really?
I
No.
understand the pain. I
Yeah.
understand. And I keep telling myself I'm not going to do it, but the PS6 is still so far out that probably wouldn't matter one way or another.
Yeah.
All right. So, we've been talking about these devices to play movies.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. Man, look at this. I'm bringing value. You just got another follower on Instagram.
Hey, all right. Appreciate that,
everybody
man.
go subscribe. Shane at the Movies. Link should be down in the notes already for this. Go check them out. It's cool stuff. Let's get them. Let's get them into those 4 digits. Let's get it going.
Yeah, appreciate
I'm
that.
excited. But overall for this year, for 2022, knowing what has come already and what is yet to come, how do you feel about the movie mix this year? Is this a exceptional year for movies, average, or what do you think?
This is an average year. This is an average year without question. I think look no further than summer 2022, right? We had a decent mix of movies. Some of them range from average. Some of them range from, I don't know, good but divisive. For instance, Doctor Strange, right?
Sure.
I think that movie was divisive as hell. I think definitely people were like, well, it's good, but I can't quite put my finger on it, right?
Right.
But and then there's the exceptionals like Top Gun Maverick, right? Whatever you think of that movie, I mean, it's making all the money, it's fun, it's a great sequel to the original, right? A belated sequel, but it does what it needed to do. And then, then you have the not so great sequels that came out, such as Jurassic World, Dominion.
Oh my God. What do you mean not so great? It was, and I don't say this lightly.
Yeah.
But it was not good.
Not good, huh?
Yeah, it was not. It was watchable.
Yeah.
We actually saw it, me and my boys, while we were on vacation. And, we were kind of trapped because they didn't have a lot of English language movies where we were at. But they had this one. And so we watched it and we were like,
It's about bugs, not dinosaurs.
Why did they make them, Dad? What? Yeah, no, but they had the Giga Mega Godzilla T-Rex.
Yeah, whatever you want to call him, that fool that decided to. He wasn't quite as menacing as like the first Jurassic World when they did the T-Rex Raptor hybrid. I forgot what they called it, but
sure, yeah, I don't remember either.
That one was like way more menacing. Like this one just seemed like another CGI dinosaur that could fit into like a Godzilla movie for like 5 minutes, and then
that's right. That's right.
It wasn't anything special, but I'll say this much about Jurassic World. I felt like definitely was a letdown, but it was a fun popcorn flick, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right. I mean, it's made money. It's made money globally. I think everyone was just shocked that people were still in the market for a Jurassic World movie. I think after Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, that was the last one, right? Or maybe
it was about that memorable for me.
It was the what?
It was so memorable that I can't remember what the last. I don't know. Yeah,
it
had Star-Lord in it.
Yes, Star-Lord. Absolutely, it had Star-Lord in it, and I was just missing Rocket Raccoon. That's the only problem with that movie.
And they could have worked that in.
With all the things with the playing with genetics and stuff, they could have easily worked that in, actually. Now that I think about it, yeah.
So this most recent one, I think the mystique there was bringing back the original cast, right? So
funny enough, I actually like that portion. I just felt like the only problem with bringing back the original cast was they didn't do anything memorable.
No, they didn't.
Anything that had a lasting impact other than, hey, it's Sam Neill again, it's Jeff Goldblum, it's Laura Dern. Like, hey, we have to love them, but they're just doing random things. Oh, look, Chris Pratt's here too. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, well, so you're younger than I am, so I'm almost 50, and so I was in my heyday when Jurassic Park came out. So I remember that from the point of view of how long ago was that? 30 years ago? 20 years ago?
20 years 95, 97 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So gosh, oh my God. So 27, 28 years ago, just call it 30, right? So
30.
I'm
Yep.
48,
Yep.
18. So it's 18, right? So, that was kind of like pop culture for me when
Yeah.
pop culture mattered more in my life. I guess that would, I guess. So
Yeah.
me watching the old cast now is very nostalgic. I think in
Yeah.
a way that if you're 30 years old, you're all like,
That's me.
exactly, right? You're like, right. So yeah, the Ghostbusters Afterlife, awesome. Top Gun
Yeah.
Maverick, awesome.
Yeah.
Jurassic World Dominion, almost
Yeah. Yeah.
could have been. They were following the recipe, but maybe they didn't put all the baking soda or whatever to make the cake rise. I don't know. Just it didn't quite make it.
I feel like the one issue with that, and to be fair, I thought they were actually the highlight of the movie. It
Mhm.
was the old cast and the dinosaurs with whatever screen time they had, right?
Sure.
But other than that, like from a writing perspective, they wrote themselves into a corner. They should have started to bring the cast back 2 movies ago, right? You should have
Right.
started to slowly integrate them, give them a real purpose, right? Give this new, what's it called, this new bad biotech company, whatever company, right? They looked like an Apple knockoff or something in the
Totally. That's
movie,
what they
right?
were going for. Yeah.
Yeah, and they should have like started to plant the seeds early. Like, this is the problem, right? If you're not planting the seeds earlier subtly, if you just drop something in a movie, it's going to be random, right? Without question.
So, okay, I'm not trying to segue away from this, but
Go for it.
as
Just
we
segue. It's your show.
as we talk about planting seeds,
Yep.
when you think of the MCU and the
Uh-huh.
recent set of movies, lots
Yeah.
of controversy, right? Lots of
Sure.
people think about the television shows.
Sure.
Are we at the Iron Man 2 and 3 stage of the phase that we're in now? Where they're, you know what I mean? Where the movies aren't quite as good as the ones that are yet to come will be, but they're kind of setting up backstory and introducing characters and that kind of stuff. Are they
Yeah.
planting seeds now that might blossom into a wonderful, better than in-game kind of story one day?
I think there are a couple of seeds planted. The biggest, and this is the more controversial movie, was Doctor Strange, right?
Mhm.
The idea of introducing the multiverse, but not in the best way possible, right? They only showed like 2 or 3 alternate universes.
Sure.
So obviously not the multiverse of madness. It was a couple of universes in madness.
But they
Um,
had a flash of several as they kind of went through, right? Or,
they
or am
did.
I confusing? Am I
No, no, no,
confusing
no,
that with
no.
Miss Marvel?
Nope, no. Well,
I
shoot,
think they did it in both.
did I finish Miss Marvel? Yeah, I did. Okay. No, no, it was Doctor Strange. So you're right. So when they're first fleeing, spoiler, I don't know if
It's
you're,
okay. We can spoil
we can
that.
spoil.
That's
Okay.
old. Yeah, that movie's old.
Okay, perfect. So when they're fleeing from the Scarlet Witch, they go
Mhm.
into the alternate dimensions, and yeah, they go through a few. Like, one of them's like a cartoon, one of them's like a
That's right.
color universe, whatever, paint universe or something. Like, here's the thing. I think with Doctor Strange, that's a very important movie. It's
I
Thor,
agree.
and here's the thing. Doctor Strange is going to be looked back the same way Thor: The Dark World was looked back, or is looked back on now, right? Where it's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's a pretty freaking important movie, right? A lot of stuff that happens in that movie is paid off in, for instance, in Ragnarok, and then later on in Endgame.
Right.
Whether it's Thor personally, or some of the concepts such as, oh, that red ether, it was actually an Infinity Stone, which we had
Mhm.
no idea that was
That's
until
right.
the post credits, right? So in this case, we're dealing with incursions. We're dealing with, the idea of universes collapsing, right? One universe survives, another one gets destroyed. So I think if you're a comic fan, I think that's going to definitely play into what was it, Jonathan Hickman's run with I don't know if it was Avengers, but Secret Wars. Secret Wars.
Oh yeah, Secret Wars
Yeah,
is. I really look forward to the introduction. So with
yeah,
Secret Wars, you have to have mutants.
you do.
You have to, and you have to have Doctor Doom.
I think that's more important. I think you need to have the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom more
Mhm.
so than mutants, because that's a big, whether it's the old Secret Wars in the 80s or the new Secret Wars, Dune plays a big role.
Yeah, I can remember when Secret Wars, the original, were hitting the shelves back in
Yeah.
the day, right? So,
Yeah.
and we were all like, "Oh my god!" We run down to the drugstore and get our. Back in the day when we could buy a comic book for a quarter, we'd run.
That'd be
down.
nice instead of $6 now or whatever it is.
Oh my god, yeah. We'd run down after school and
Yeah.
like, oh, Secret Wars, and you remember? I think Secret Wars was when Incredible Hulk bench pressed the mountain. Right, they threw the mountain on them. Was that Secret Wars? That's Secret Wars. And
I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while since I've read the original. It's been a while since I've read both. Funny enough, so
yeah, it has been a while. But yeah, I just remember Incredible Hulk is like
Yeah.
under 200 trillion billion tons, blah blah blah, and he's like,
Right.
and then I'm wondering, could his She-Hulk do this too? Could she bench press the mountain? Because in the trailer,
could.
she threw the rock 10 yards, and
Yeah.
Hulk threw it so far that it burned up in the atmosphere.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw the recent trailer. It was
Wow.
I mean, I would hope that they're. Well, let's just be honest. Let's be realistic for a minute. Mark Ruffalo is not going to be in the MCU forever.
No, not at all. Not at all.
He's
Edward
going to
Norton's
be way
coming
too.
back.
And what?
Ed Norton.
I was like, you threw me off there for a minute. I was like, oh,
Team Ed.
Team Ed, huh?
Oh my god.
By
Yes.
the way, I still have a big soft spot for the '08 movie, so I don't know how much of your audience, but I still love that movie. I think that is the best.
The Ang Lee movie or whatever.
No, not that one. Not that one. The one with Norton. The one with
yeah. Okay.
him and Liv Tyler and
Mhm.
Tim Roth, right?
Yeah.
Like that was
Liv Tyler. Ooh, back in the day. She's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was the best iteration of the Hulk so far because it not only harkened back to the comics, it harkened back to the Bill Bixby TV show.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they even had the freaking theme music playing at one point. Come on.
How can you not see? It's the nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
Even back then. And then didn't Lou Ferrigno have a cameo?
Yeah, that as a security guard or something.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Such good stuff. Now, so a couple of comments on some of the topics that we've covered. So, if you rewind back to Top Gun, my main criticism of the new one, Maverick, is not enough sweat.
Not enough sweat.
Not enough sweat. Now,
how much more sweat did you want? They had a whole beat scene in that movie.
I wanted the same amount of sweat they had in the first movie. So now everyone that's watching, you have to go back and watch the original and take notice of the amount of sweat on every actor and every scene in the entire movie. They are drenched in every scene, and their face is just perspiring. It's when you go back and watch it, you'll be like, oh my god, it's ridiculous. So
do you think that's because of that back in the day they were more shooting on location versus now where you can definitely tell there's more they're shooting in a studio for sure?
I don't know if it was just due to real environmentals back then. My guess is that other movies that I've seen that are of that time frame that were outdoorsy, in lots of scenes, they weren't covered in sweat.
They were covered in baby oil though.
With Vaseline in their boots.
Absolutely.
My favorite line from Burt Reynolds ever. Can you name the movie?
No.
I think it was from Striptease. You remember?
Jesus, with Demi Moore?
It had the girl that came from Saved by the Bell, the tall one.
Oh no, that's not Striptease. That's something else.
What's the name
I know
of
what
it?
you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're right. It's not Striptease. That was Demi Moore. No, this was
Showgirls.
Showgirls.
Yeah.
Oh, you are Shane at the movies. I love it.
What can I say?
That's awesome.
One of the worst movies ever made by Paul Van Horen.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
horrible. This is the
horrible.
same guy who gave us Robocop, by the way. Think about that for a minute.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I would have rather had another RoboCop-esque movie.
Yeah.
Because RoboCop was just pure fun.
Right.
I
don't know. Did that movie? I don't know. Would you remember? Did that movie come out before or after Basic Instinct? Because I feel like right after Basic Instinct with Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone, Paul Van, and I'm gonna butcher his name, Paul V. Like
that dude.
He just got like a license to do what he wanted. Like, did you ever feel that way?
Um, I really haven't thought of it cognizantly before.
Yeah.
I do remember liking RoboCop a lot, simply because of the T-1000 or whatever it was. The
Yeah.
robots, the
Yep. Yep.
non-humanoid defense robots, and I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. Right, really, really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of nostalgia. So I look back at those movies through a colored lens.
Oh,
And
for sure.
if I were to watch them again now, I think I would, punch a lot of holes in them. But
Ooh. Okay. Okay. Just on that thought for a second. Go back and rewatch the first, not the second or third, but the first RoboCop. You
mhm,
may actually like that one. You may actually feel
okay,
like that one holds up, or it's ahead of its time for sure. I mean, look, there's some campy, like cringy moments for sure,
oh
right?
sure, sure,
Yeah, but I would say that one definitely holds up. Total Recall's another one with Schwarzenegger.
yeah.
Like it's despite it's campy as hell, but it's like it's ahead of its time
It it,
for
it's,
sure.
it was good. It was good.
Yeah,
There are a number of films from back in that time period that I think were ahead of their time.
yeah.
Blade Runner, super,
Yes.
super, super ahead of its time.
I'm
And
still
I
so gutted about that movie, man. Oh my gosh.
so good. I still like 2049 as well. I think it was fine.
I'm a huge fan of that movie,
Yeah,
actually.
I think it's fine. I like it. A lot of people are like, no, it was too slow. Pacing was too slow. I'm like, no, bring it. I was excited every minute.
No, it was
Um,
great.
I mean,
Dennis
Harrison Ford's still
Villa,
alive and everything.
no, Denis Villanueva, right? Directed that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Villeneuve, or how to say it.
and he did an exceptional job, right? But he's the director that you want for that type of movie, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Because that type of style played off or paid off in what did he direct recently? Dune, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Almost a very similar style. It's a slow movie, but when the action hits, like it pops off, and the action it's filmed perfectly.
And while we're
Right?
talking about Dune, what'd you think?
Yeah. Oh, I love Dune. I love Dune completely, but Dune is half a movie.
Sure.
Like
Yes, half of
it's
one
it's
book.
half a movie. I want Dune 2 to be released. I know they're starting to film, or I think
No,
they got the
they're
green light.
done filming, aren't they? No, they're not. I
I
think
don't
I'm mistaken.
you know you could be right, but
It's coming out
last I
23,
heard,
right?
I don't know.
Oh
I don't
well,
know.
who knows?
Someone knows.
Dune 2 release date. Look at me, man. I am awesome. November 17th, 2023.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, it's coming. Um,
Okay. Okay.
spoiler, it's the second half of the first book.
It is. Well, that's what and that's what I'm saying, right? I'm hoping after Dune 2's release, they do like a do you watch those DC animated movies by any chance? Have you ever seen any of
I've
them?
seen a couple of them,
Yeah.
but I am a marginal DC fan at best.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
One of the movies was The Dark Knight Returns. It was an
sure.
adaptation of Frank Miller's work, right?
Oh yeah,
So
Frank
they
Miller is.
yeah, yeah. So they released the movie in two parts, but then afterwards, like I think 6 months or a year later, they combined both parts into one movie. And so I would love to see that happen to Dune, like down the line, where they have this complete, whatever you want to call it, the complete story or
Oh,
something.
sure, sure, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, they say there are another 5 hours of film or some god awful number of minutes of video for the first filming that they
I'm not
left
gonna
on the
lie, I
floor.
don't need more.
I
It's
see.
already long.
I want it all. I
You
want
do?
the
Okay.
8 hour edition. Yeah, I want it all because I I love the book,
Yeah.
and this was more true to the book than the original 84 Dune or whatever it is, because they
Yes.
added lots of weird stuff. Like the 84, they took the weirding way, which is really just a fighting style, and they turned it into this sonic weapon,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that doesn't exist in the book or anything, right?
Right. Right.
So this was a little more true to form. Now, not
Yeah.
perfect, right, but a little more
Yeah.
true to form. So I want to see all these scenes that I remember reading, thinking they were so awesome,
Yeah.
that didn't make it, into the movie, and never will, because they're past those points, right?
But
Um,
the funniest thing about that is this is kind of the Lord of the Rings argument, right? Because there's the theatrical versus the extended editions.
mhm.
And the one thing that I realized was when Peter Jackson sort of commented on those movies, he was like, the theatrical editions, that's the director's cut. That's my vision, right?
Right.
Brought to the screen. The extended is just for the fans. It's like these little
Mhm.
goody,
Yeah,
bits
extra
that
stuff.
extra stuff, right? But the one thing is, as much as I love the extended editions, I think the theatrical films are better paced. The pacing it's tighter, it's better.
They are. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're not partially right. It's 100% true. You're
So
completely right.
that's my only thing. I'm like, as much as I would love to see more of Dune, I'm like, well, you like from the beginning to end of part one, it made perfect sense and everything flowed as well as it could. I cannot imagine them trying to add more stuff and saying, hey, this is the better version. No, it's like it's fan service, right? That's all it is.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
servicing
Oh,
fans.
totally. But I see, for me, for certain movies, I
Yeah.
want that. Some
Yeah,
movies,
no,
some
absolutely.
movies, I'm like, I've had enough.
Yeah.
Right. But for this one, for Dune, I'll take it all, and I
Right.
hope they make all the movies into, or all the books into movies. Although I'm almost certain that won't happen, but it would still be cool because I'm a big fan of the franchise.
So, I mean, I know a little bit about the books, and I know like the first 3 or 4 deal with uh Timothy Chalamet's character.
Shyamalan, yeah. So Paul Atreides, the
Yeah,
Kwisatz
Paul Atreides.
Haderach,
There you go. There you go.
yeah,
So, and then afterwards, they shift to his heirs or something,
Leto the second.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as long as these movies make money, I'm fairly certain they can keep going with at least 3 books.
Yeah, and they have. I mean, in the series, there are many books. So
There are.
after Frank Herbert passed away, his son picked
I heard.
up the, yeah, and a lot of people don't call it canon, although he owns the franchise now. So what he says is canon, right?
I mean,
But
it's Marvel canon, right? Anything after what Stan Lee did, right? I mean, does it mean
sure,
that canon? Like, let's
it
be
has
honest.
to be, right? It's got to be. So
Is
yeah,
it?
his son Herbert number 2 wrote a lot of books with his co-author with that. I can't think of the name right now, but there's a lot of material out there that's really cool, right?
Yeah.
And like Duncan, Idaho, right? So
Yes.
Jason Momoa's character,
They bring him back. I remember in one of the future books.
actually they bring him back thousands and thousands of times over the time covered by the books.
Was it through cloning?
It, through the process known as creating a gola.
There you
So
go. Yes.
cloning is creating a copy of a living creature,
Right.
and a gola is when you take cells from a dead thing and create a new living copy of a thing that's died.
Yeah.
So he died in this first book, right? And so that was his original version. Exactly. Yeah. So spoiler alert.
I know.
He died, but he gets brought back tons and tons of times, and they figure out how to trigger the memories so that it's really, I'm back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but he doesn't get brought back in the first book, though. He gets brought back in one of the
down the
sequels,
line,
though, right?
Yeah, he won't be back in the next movie.
Yeah.
No.
Like even if the one in the next 2 movies or something, they deal with book 2, right? It's further down than that.
Yeah, I think it's further down. I can't remember exactly in which book he comes back, but I do believe it's further down the line than what we would see. So, if they plow through these things, it's very possible for him to come back again, right? But he's one of the characters that is a mainstay. Once they figure out how to bring him back, he's always around.
Yeah.
You can't get away from Duncan, Idaho. Duncan.
Well,
you know what I mean?
No.
All right. So that's kind of the year in retrospect, right?
Yep.
So now let's talk about the year yet to come, and anything I guess it could be this year or even going into to next year. Sure. Anything that you're super excited about or even mildly excited about?
Oh, absolutely. We can talk about this year first of all before we get to 2023. But
it's the DC League of Super Pets, right?
The movie that already came out.
Yeah, it's already out. Yeah, there's one. No, okay.
No. I'm sorry. That movie. Maybe if I was like 8 years old, yeah, I'd love to watch it. If I took maybe my nieces or nephew to that, maybe.
Sure.
But yeah, not me. As much as I am a fan of Superman, okay. Let me just put this out there, guys. My first love is DC. I love both DC and Marvel, but my first love is DC Comics. Marvel makes the better movies. I've always sort of held the opinion for a while that DC for a short period, went up to Marvel.
They did.
Yes,
they did
just for a bit, and then
the Nolan years.
Well, there's those beautiful years that we can only hold on to. Yes. Other than that, yeah. God. Oh, we had Watchmen. We had Watchmen. Well,
oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, we had that. Yeah, and then
I can only remember one thing about Watchmen.
Oh boy, does it start with blue?
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah. I knew you were gonna do that. I'm like, everyone was like, the one thing I remember from Watchmen was that guy, and I saw his, and I'm like, yeah. It's just that's just this. That's Watchmen. Yep. You're like, no, this is the clock. That's exactly.
It's the clock.
It's yep. Somebody does a screenshot. This is what they should.
Yeah, everybody knows what this is now. This is a movie reference.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the TV show, outstanding.
It was a beautiful sequel series. I was very surprised when I first heard of Watchmen. I was like, so they're just going to redo the graphic novel again.
Movie.
Congratulations. I'm like, I thought Zack Snyder did a decent job aside from changing a couple things. Like,
sure,
he did what you needed to do to adapt that movie, right? But that sequel series caught me by surprise, and I was just mesmerized. I mean, everyone just gave a great performance.
What was the actress's name? I can't remember her name.
Regina Hall.
Yeah, she was so good.
No, not was it Regina Hall?
No, the lead, whatever her name is. I don't know. Whatever her name is, she was so good. Was she on the Cosby Show? She was on some other television show from way back then.
She's been on a lot of things. But let me. You know what? Two can Google. Oh,
the Google fight.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
So, no, I was really impressed by her because it felt like I hadn't seen her in a minute.
It's not Regina Hall. Oh God.
Yeah,
it's been a minute. It's been a minute for sure.
And while you're doing that, Joey Peacock says Thor. Ugh, talking about our one from this year.
Funny enough, Regina King.
Regina King.
Yes, I had it partially right. Okay, let's talk about Thor real quick.
Love and Thunder.
I'm sure there was a lot of love behind the scenes. I'm sure there was a lot of camaraderie. People had trust in Taika Waititi. Everyone seemed to have a very good time, but overall, that movie was rushed. And if it wasn't rushed, then we're missing a lot of that story. This is one of those movies where they actually need to go back and start to reinsert those deleted scenes, because at a certain point, they're just sidelining characters, right? Tessa Thompson, for instance, is like, you see her for a minute and then she's gone, doing nothing, right? Mm-hmm. Jane Foster's story was interesting, but also kind of underdeveloped. I feel like
contrived.
Yes. Oh. Like you could have given her at least another movie out of
why? Why? Yeah, just why would they?
Why?
Yeah, just it didn't make it interesting. It did. Why would they give her cancer? Right? Why would they do this?
That was a comic book thing, wasn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
But as you know, the MCU takes a lot of.
They take liberties. They do.
A lot of liberty with the story.
Look no further than Miss Marvel. She's not even an Inhuman. She's
maybe
something
a mutant.
Else.
Maybe a mutant. Who knows?
Oh, maybe. We'll
see, right? Some people are saying she's the first mutant, although Professor X. I can't remember the timing of when he was shown in the movie as opposed to her in the television show. I don't remember which one came first at this point.
I couldn't tell you that.
But yeah, he got dusted. They all did. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
You never know. Maybe we'll see another version of Professor X down the line.
Well, I think we will, because it shows it's the multiverse, right?
And the multiverse.
Yeah. No, but back to Thor. Just a few comments there. My big knock. So I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fine. It was just.
I was going to say. I remember I saw your review. You liked the movie, right?
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
I think it's still kind of like the Iron Man 2 and 3 range of movies.
Yes.
And I feel like they tried to infuse too much of Guardians of the Galaxy style into the movie, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't. from my point of view, I don't see Thor as being a comedic movie, right? That's not what I'm looking for, right? I wanted something
Sure.
a little more serious, and this
Yeah.
was all comedy all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely, even to the point of slapstick. When Zeus is flinging off his clothes and you see Thor butt, and
Yes. And he sounds like Mario, by the way.
yeah,
Mario from Nintendo. Yes.
sure.
That's Russell Crowe doing his Mario impression. Yeah.
And so many people were down on his accent there too. Oh God, I mean, it was horrible, but I think they did it horribly on
Yeah.
purpose, right?
Of course.
To attempt to. And could you imagine talking to Russell Crowe? Okay, Russell Crowe, you have to wear this little skirt, and you're going to do this horrible Italian accent, and you're going to be Zeus, and
How much are you going to pay me? A couple million.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I
You want
would
me
wear-
to be politically insensitive or culturally insensitive? Add another mill. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened.
Oh yeah. But and this is going to catch me on my being horrible with names again. At the end of Thor, they introduced Hercules.
Hercules, yes.
And Hercules is being played by the guy that has the best dark beard ever.
You mean that CGI beard?
No, that.
No.
Have you watched him?
No, I don't know who the actor is. When I saw the post credit scene, I was like, I kind of got it because the way they showed him, I was like, oh, that looks like Hercules. I'm like, oh, I was right.
Yeah, it's
but
totally Hercules.
But I didn't.
So
who's the actor?
He's a supporting actor in the comedy on, I think it's Apple TV, and it's the soccer one.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah, Ted Lasso. So he plays.
Yeah.
It is an amazing. I mean, one of the best television shows I've seen in the last 10 years.
Can I tell you something, Giles? You are like the 30th person to tell me that.
And if you haven't seen it, and you consider yourself an aficionado of movies and television, you have done yourself a grave disservice.
Dude, I am like, this is my thing about streaming services. I am like, I got my set streaming services right now, and anymore, like, I'm gonna break the bank. I cannot.
That's another problem. We're ripe for consolidation.
Yeah.
On streaming service, it'll happen, right?
But everyone who's like complaining about like their cable bills, like, oh, we only watch one or two networks, or blah blah blah. Why is my cable bill so high? I'm like, well, the alternative's going to be worse because everyone's going to want to give their own content.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. I think I'm paying I must be paying at least $90 a month.
I've got to be $100 in, yeah. Because I have them all.
Yeah,
Apple, Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus. What else is there? Whatever else there is, I have Amazon Prime.
I have Amazon Prime as well.
So that's 5 right there that I have. I can't think of any more right now.
You have Paramount?
Yeah, I have Paramount Plus. No.
Oh,
yes.
I don't have Paramount. I
have to have it because I watch Star Trek.
So you've already one up me because I have been missing out on the current Star Trek stuff. Yeah.
Oh, Strange New Worlds.
I don't have Paramount, dude. I would love
so
to.
Good. It's not
hear
Ted
great
Lasso
things.
good. Yeah, it's not Ted Lasso good, but it's very good.
I can tell you this much. I watched the Orville, so everything is okay.
I've only seen one episode of Orville.
You're missing out.
I know that's my failing, right? I know that I've got that's definitely on the list, but I've been watching a lot of stuff. So Exceptional Attorney Woo or whatever. Super, woo to the young to the woo, dong to the goo,
to the Remy, and then
really really good. My first K-drama that I've really watched. But good. Gosh.
Did you not watch Squid Games?
I haven't seen Squid Games yet.
Oh wow, that's unique.
I'm like 2 episodes in on Squid Games, so I'm gonna get back to that.
Yeah.
But like I got sucked into For All Mankind.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that one? So it's an alternate history show, and they start back at the during the space race.
Okay.
And then they diverge the timeline of the show from the real world's timeline, and they show what could have happened, right? If Russia beat us to the moon.
Oh. Who's in this show? You're bad with names.
I'm really, really for
Yes.
all mankind cast. Okay.
While
Okay.
he's looking, people
Casey
watch.
W. Johnson, Joel Kinnaman,
Oh, I know Joel Kinnaman. Okay.
yeah, Michael Dorman, Sarah Jones, Chantel Van Santen, Coral
I
Pena,
know the show that you're talking about.
yeah,
Okay.
Chris Marshall, Ren Schmidt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was at Comic-Con this year. My first time.
San Diego?
San Diego Comic-Con.
I hate you.
Yeah, it's okay, bro.
I hate you so much right
There's
now.
a line. There's a line out the door. I already know. I know. This my first year though. My first year going.
I'm going next year.
You got to go next year. You got to go next year.
I'm going.
Okay. And if you go next year, then hit me up. Then we'll go together.
Yeah, I'll hit you up. Do it. We can go live stream from there. We can
absolutely
create some content. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, tell your story.
No. So, first year going there, I ended up getting into Saturday Hall H, right? The coveted Hall H. And so there was this panel about the Entertainment Weekly panel. Apparently, this is the one right before Marvel. And the actress Chantel, sorry, whatever her last name is.
Sure.
So she was on there, and she talked a little bit about, just sort of they were all talking about how their experiences as women in the industry, some of the shortfallings and the trials and tribulations they've had to deal with and all that stuff, right? But she did talk about For All Mankind. She did get into like how it's one of her most unique roles that she's ever played, but also something that was very gratifying because it's a very well-rounded character for her.
Right.
So as a viewer, do you agree that, is she whatever her character is that something that's like a standout?
So she's very important to the show. And her role became more important as we've gone through the seasons. And I think we're on season 3 now. Okay. And she plays very predominantly in season 3. So I'm going to spoil this. Do you want me to spoil this?
Don't
Everybody else, I could. Yeah. Okay. I won't spoil it then.
Chill. Let me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But she takes actions that have repercussions that are very significant for all the characters in season 3. So, what she does really impacts a lot of people. So in like season 1, she was like the wife of an astronaut.
Right.
And now she's a main character in the show.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, she's good.
Okay.
But a lot of people probably hate her.
Okay. I
don't hate her because sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but she shouldn't have done she shouldn't have did what she did. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to add this to the list, obviously, for all mankind.
Yeah, do it. After Ted Lasso.
After Ted Lasso, absolutely.
So
yes, you were not the first person. Seriously, I've been hearing things for quite a while about Ted Lasso, and I'm like, well, as soon as I lose another streaming service, I'll grab Apple and we'll go from there.
Sure. Before we got started, you were talking about your love of Frasier.
Yes.
Right. And that made me think of so one of the things that I've found myself doing is waiting for shows to finish and then binge watching them.
Yeah.
So I waited, and it took a very long time for Modern Family to finish.
Wow.
And that was like 11 seasons or something.
Yes. It's a long time.
And then I watched them all over like a 3-month period or something.
Yeah.
And I finished that up, I don't know, like a month ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's some of these older shows out there that are really, and that's not really old, right? It just finished like 2 or 3 years ago.
No, it's pretty modern.
It's Modern Family. It's in the name.
Yeah, it's modern. Yeah.
It was really good. Yeah. And I love the 30-minute situation comedy.
Absolutely.
I mean, I love it. That's one of my favorites. And Ted Lasso plays right into that.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, I'm hoping to catch it while it's still on the air. I'm assuming they've been renewed at the moment. They're not like
Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
I think they have one more season left. I think they're going to kill it after season, whatever the next one is. Season 3.
It hasn't been that long. Like it must be 3 years, right? Yeah. Jeez.
I think they've had 2 seasons. Wow. They've had 2 seasons, and I believe they're going to hit season 3, and that's going to be the end of it, I believe. Although, man, it's so good. Maybe they'll spin something off, or I don't know, but I've really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to check it out. But I'll say this much. Going back to those 30-minute situational comedies,
Sitcoms.
sitcoms, yes, sir. It's really hard to beat some of those 90s sitcoms, like
totally.
Frasier. Everybody Loves Raymond, one of my all-time favorites, right?
Yep.
Just let's just, we can even stick on the Frasier train. Cheers.
Yeah, roll it back into the 80s or whatever.
Right? Still holds up. Good gosh.
How about the Cosby Show? Too soon.
It's hard to watch the Cosby Show now, man. It's hard.
Too soon. Yeah.
It's hard. I can't.
I'm still so angry at him.
Yeah.
I mean, just damn it, dude. What were you? Oh.
Yeah. I know, man.
I know.
Dude.
I can't even eat pudding anymore.
Yes, it's hard. It's hard.
Like ash in my mouth now. Damn.
Try this one on for size, man. You want to talk about controversies? So a friend of mine was a big Seventh Heaven fan when it was on the air.
Sure.
And then all the crap about what was his name? The guy who plays the dad came out.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
But suffice to say, she can never watch. She was a diehard fan. She watched it from day one, and then she owns the DVD, or she owned the DVDs. I don't know if she owns it now, but she just can't watch the show. She's like, it's traumatizing. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, we should be able to separate the people from their work, right? But at a certain point, it's like this is hard.
Yeah, you can't do it. Now to get back on the older television show bandwagon. Yeah. So for me, there are a ton of shows that if you haven't seen them that are older, you have to watch. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Are you asking me?
No, it's so good. I'm telling you that it's freaking awesome.
It is amazing. It's one of the greatest TV shows ever made. I don't care what people think about Joss Whedon. It is one of the greatest shows ever made.
Who is the chunky guy that was like in all the Joss Whedon TV shows, and then he was even in like the Star Wars movie as an X-Wing pilot? If anybody out there that's listening knows this guy's name.
Chunky guy.
Yeah, he's a chunky guy with dark hair. And he was like he had like cameo roles like in every show. And then he had a cameo in one of the newer Star Wars movies.
You got me.
Yeah. Anyway, so Buffy the Vampire Slayer, absolutely great. Followed up by Angel, which was still pretty good. What else from that time frame? Did you see Alias?
Yes. Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, so good. Then did you see Dollhouse?
Yes, I came to Dollhouse late though.
Elijah Duku or whatever her name is.
Yes, Elijah Dush.
I can't say her last name.
I don't know if it's Dushku or if that's just me.
That's her
name.
It
could be, yes. But her, yes. She was amazing in Dollhouse. I loved. She gave a really great performance. But as I was saying, I came late to that show. I didn't realize that show was even on the air until its finale. Like the series finale was airing. A friend of mine bought the show on Blu-ray. He was like, "You got to watch this show," and I was like, "Why?" I'm like, "It's a show called Dollhouse." I'm like, that sounds like nothing I would watch back in 2008, which would make me about 17 years old, I think, 16, 17. Mm-hmm. Sure. Like it didn't seem like something I would watch. But he's like, no, you don't understand. Joss Whedon made this show. And I was like, bullshit. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. No. So I started watching it. I tore through the first season within like a day or two. He gave it to me in the weekend. So yeah, like a day. And then afterwards, because the second season was just about to finish, I was like, this sucks. Now I have to wait for that show or this to end. And then I have to wait for the Blu-ray to come out or start watching reruns, right? Which was kind of hard, but I ended up because do you remember on demand in those days? Like if you had a cable or
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they would only show you like a few of the recent episodes.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
Like the latest 4.
Now you couldn't go back too far because of the storage technology and bandwidth. It was going over cable and yeah.
Exactly. So I had to really wait until the second season came out on Blu-ray. But loved Dollhouse. I thought that was such a travesty that show. That and Firefly.
Oh, I
Don't
was about
you?
to say Firefly. My
Yeah.
heart still breaks for
Oh,
Firefly.
I know.
That's a tough one. It was so good.
I had hope with Serenity though. I had hope. I was hoping that we were going to get a sequel, but yeah, it didn't make enough money.
Yeah, it's just people like you and me that were like, yeah, and everybody else was like,
Yeah.
what is this? Okay, there's a TV show that I think is a contemporary of that time frame, and I'm going to give clues until you figure out what it is because I can't remember the name of it.
Sure.
It's a movie that's set in a quasi post-apocalyptic United States, post-nuclear bomb explosions, not full out nuclear war, but some warheads had been exploded and the government was in disarray. And there is it's the story of a man who has a nuclear weapon that ends up in this small town, and all the shenanigans that then happen with him and the people that live in the town. It made one season, then it was canceled, and then people had such an uproar that it was renewed for a second season. And the way that they would, I don't know, show their outrage at the show being canceled would be to send peanuts to the studio, because that was one of the lines from the show. And I can't remember the name of it, but that one, it was so good. If anyone out there knows it, I give you triple golden stars if you can come up with this name, because this one is a little out there.
The only, because I remember, when fandoms would try to save shows, they would send like these little trinkets to studios. Like when Chuck was about to get canceled, they sent
so good. Chuck was awesome.
Right. Yeah. Like, I remember that. I remember, oh God, there was something else. I'm hoping it's not the same one. They sent something.
So I just Googled TV show with nuclear bomb and peanuts, and the first result was the show name.
Show name. Oh.
Yeah, no, it's the title of the series.
Peanuts?
It's from 2006. Jericho. Jericho. Yeah. Jericho is an American post-apocalyptic action drama television series which centers on the residents of the fictional city of Jericho, Kansas. Yeah.
No, you got that one. That one got me actually. Yeah, I don't remember Jericho. But you know what's so funny? The way you were describing it, for a moment I was gonna say, are you talking about that show Revolution? Do you remember that one? Where the lights go out? That came out a few years. It's like it was a 1-2 season show with I can't remember any of the actors' names. It was on NBC though. It was like the power goes out. I thought it was like a nuclear issue, but maybe it's not. Maybe it was something else.
Is this the blackout was an artificially caused apocalyptic event occurring in September 2012.
That's it.
The event. Yes, I remember that. What happened to it? That thing died. It just died after one season. Right?
That got outright canceled. It got outright canceled, actually. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and I watched it. It was okay. It was fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But the way you're describing it, I was like, this sounds like Revolution, but I don't remember nukes being in that show. Yeah. So okay, never mind.
So I feel like we're living in the golden age of television.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, there's so many shows now with all the streaming services, and I think that's going to get pulled back as things start to consolidate, because people are just dumping money into this to try and get market share, right, and make all these great shows, but it won't last forever. Can't. Okay, all right. So we are at the end of our hour, and I don't like this to go too terribly long, but we'll close with most anticipated upcoming movie. So what is the movie that you want to see the most that's going to be out in the next 22-23?
All right.
This is
the one that comes to mind. I'll tell you right now. It's probably going to be Black Adam.
Really?
Bro, I was at Comic-Con. I can tell you right now, the footage that I saw was not released to the public. There was some footage that, like, their first trailer was kind of hit or miss, but like the stuff that they showed, I was like, no, this is what they need to do with the character of Black Adam. Okay. And it seems like it's an okay role for Dwayne Johnson.
He just straight up murders people, right?
He does. He just
straight. It's just like, you're dead.
There's no like, Batman, you're gonna be dark and broody, but you're just gonna beat people to a pulp. No, this is straight up. He offs people, and it's interesting. It's interesting. Like, so just to say why this is kind of one of my most anticipated. The controversies with Warner Brothers has been, it's public, it's out there, and it's not going to die down.
Sure.
I definitely want to see what the restructuring of DC is going to look like, because as a DC fan, I'm like, I'll be very honest. The administration of DC didn't do them any favors, right? Didn't do these
No, it's
characters
been
any favors.
horrible.
Yeah,
I mean, there were some standouts, but
sure.
I've always felt that DC can have a story arc. It can be a cohesive universe.
And I think the one thing that gets me is, and maybe some people will disagree, but so for instance, let's bring up Zack Snyder for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great visuals, great showcase of these iconic characters' abilities, like on film, right, in a modern comic book movie, but you're missing the core of the characters. That's the thing that just made me go crazy. From 2013, it's like, you're telling me you have a person like Henry Cavill who probably looks like the most comic accurate version of Superman.
Oh, totally.
Since Christopher Reeve, right?
Yeah. No, he's better than Christopher Reeve, even.
Yes. Yeah. He looks like some of the artwork that, like, the old the late Michael Turner did, or artists from that era, right? Just this big hulking dude.
And he's perfect.
Yeah. Right. And there are moments
in so many ways he's perfect.
He is, right? But there are small little bits where you see, like, him giving charisma, him being like showcasing that decent, that humble, that Superman that we mostly grew up with, right? But you only see that for like a few seconds in that movie. The rest of it is just action, brooding, this and that. And it's like, dude, you're missing the core of the character, right? And this goes on beyond Superman. It goes to Batman in that movie, in Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, right? It's been 6 years since that movie came out. And I know some people swear by it. If you swear by it, hey, love what you love. But for me, I'm like, you go against the core of these characters. It feels like an Elseworld tale.
Sure.
But here's the thing: if you're going to get to Elseworld, why don't you get to the regular DC universe, right? The sort of the more comic accurate version, so you can earn the Elseworld. Right, that brand, right? Because that took time for DC to earn, right?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen just overnight. Like, they had years of, these characters did the same thing over and over again. People got used to them. Oh, wait, Superman is Russian? Oh, wait, Batman could be a vampire? All this crazy stuff, right?
What if?
So, what ifs, right? What ifs? Yes. Right? So I'm just saying, like, to me, it's like, get your house in order, man. And if it means, you start with The Rock's Black Adam, or possibly restarting, or whatever you want to call it, like, let's see what you got.
I'll definitely watch Black Adam in the theater, no doubt. I'm in 100%. I'm going to be there. Dolby Atmos. Let's go. Let's do it.
Right.
And I hope it is as good as you say it is, because
I only saw, like, we only saw like a few minutes, dude.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Huh? That's all it takes.
DC needs some fire somehow, something.
They do.
And if this is the one, by all means. Although I heard they're doing the Batman Part 2,
which hasn't even been greenlit. It hasn't been greenlit. Like,
what about the Joker 2? Yeah,
Joker 2 got greenlit. Funny enough, they did a what was it, like a teaser trailer or some sort, like a 15-minute thing online where Lady Gaga and him and Joaquin Phoenix were like dancing or something.
Yeah.
I saw that for a bit, but
does that fit into the vision, though?
No, I mean, and I feel like, just like the Batman 2, all of this is going to be separated, right? Like, right now with the Batman, maybe one day Robert Pattinson's Batman could be the mainstream Batman. But how's that going to work when you're going to bring Ben Affleck into Aquaman 2?
Yeah.
Right? And then you got Michael Keaton's Batman coming back in the upcoming Flash movie, which may or may not be canceled by the time.
Oh yeah. It's crazy times. That poor guy.
It's a bad time to be a DC fan at the moment. If
It's
you're
rough.
it's
You got The Rock.
that's all I got. I got The Rock.
And you smell what he's cooking.
I have Shazam 2. I take it back. I have that and Shazam 2. That's all I have.
What's that guy's name? The actor?
Zachary Levi.
Yeah, Zachary Levi.
He's Chuck, dude.
Yeah, I know. Yes. How did Chuck turn into Chuck?
I don't know, man. Lloyd.
You know what I mean?
So at Comic-Con, he was like for a minute I thought they were doing like padding in the suits and stuff.
It's really him.
The dude was big. Like he on stage, he was like a big dude. I was like, oh well, that doesn't look fake. Unless he had a bodysuit underneath like his plaid shirt or whatever. So
okay, cool. So everybody out there, we should talk again after Black Adam, right?
Absolutely.
We should take a few minutes and maybe we can film like a Black Adam review video and we can put it up on your Instagram and put it up on my Instagram or something like that. That'd be pretty cool, right?
Definitely.
And try and get some more subscribers in and all that kind of good stuff. But I'm excited for that. For me, we'll close on my anticipated movie, but it'll be Dune 2 in 2023.
Okay,
that's
fair enough.
I'm all in. That's just for me. I can't think of anything that's going to be better for my fandom.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, you didn't want to talk about the Barbie movie though with Margot Robbie?
There's a Barbie movie coming out.
Giles, where have you been, man? It's been making waves. Apparently, it's supposed to be the new Lego movie.
When is it coming? I'm looking for
next
it.
Year. I don't think it's this year.
It's next year. Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's a lot of movies still. Avatar 2. Oh my God! How do we not talk about Avatar?
Let's talk about it real quick. I am looking forward to that movie. That movie should have come out 5 years ago, though. But whatever.
Yeah, what's his face had his FU money. He's all like, "I do what I want." Cameron, James Cameron.
You know what I want, and let me just bring this up real quick. I want True Lies to come out on 4K UHD. That's what I want. Before Avatar 3, 4, 5, 6, give me True Lies on Blu-ray or UHD, please.
And that's Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I can't believe I pulled that one out of my butt.
Hey, it's a memorable movie. Let's just be honest. And it's the only one that James Cameron will just not go back and restore.
Oh God, yeah. But dude, really, at the end of Titanic, he couldn't have got up on the raft with her. Really? Come on, DiCaprio.
I've been saying this for years, and at a certain point, I'm like, you know what? Whatever. It's okay. Maybe he would have just died either way. You never know. Whatever.
Maybe at that point you just wanted him to die anyway.
I actually wanted them to get together. I'm a bit of a softie. I was hoping they would get together. Okay. Because, he seemed like a decent man compared to Billy Zane, who starts shooting people randomly.
Sure. Yeah.
On a sinking ship, the man starts to shoot people. Think about that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, just want to put this out there. Billy Zane as Lex Luthor would be amazing. Just saying. Instead of Jesse Eisenberg.
Hey, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor is horrible. Dude, he's straight up horrible.
I know, it's bad. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, I could take off the rest of my hair and be a better Lex Luthor.
You would be. You would look like President Luthor from the comics, actually, funny enough. Take off the beard, man. Just shave it all off. You'll be great. That's it.
Hey, Warner Brothers, I'm talking to you.
Cast Giles McCoy, please.
But who are you going to be? If I'm going to be Lex Luthor, who are you? You have to be someone now. You have to.
Who am I going to be?
Yeah, who are you going to be?
Sure. Well, I'm wearing all black.
You could be the new Flash. There's going to be an opening.
I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right. I could be the new Flash. Yeah. Iris. God.
You could be. You could be.
Okay. Oh! I got one for you.
Robin.
Who?
Robin. We can get you some green and yellow tights or something.
I would be a great Robin. Okay.
I'm sorry. That was horrible.
Jiminy Cricket's Batman. God, the Joker's out there.
Pow. Bang. Oh, okay. What were you gonna say? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I
That's
was
horrible.
gonna say, okay, I was gonna say Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. That would be kind of cool, actually.
Okay, why not?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am. So, for those of you who are not DC fans, Jeff Johns did an amazing run on the character of Green Lantern, starting with Green Lantern Rebirth and all the way to Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns that ended like a few years ago. But
Mhm.
it was just amazing. I don't know if it was a 10-year run or something, but it was an exceptional run. You know, they had some up and down, but it really made me a big fan of the character. So yeah,
That's awesome.
I would do GL for sure.
I would be down with that. Okay, maybe Lex Luthor and Green Lantern can either be enemies or they can team up somehow.
Absolutely.
Stranger things have happened, right?
I'm hoping we're enemies, but whatever.
That's right. You're going down. Green
You
thing.
listen. You know all my weakness is what, the color yellow or something. So yeah, you got me.
I'm all like,
Throw a
look at
post
my
at
outfit.
Yeah, no, throw a post-it at me. Oh,
Ow, ow.
that's
Well, like
it.
Superman can be defeated with rocks. So,
Yes, absolutely.
you know, you just take some of it, grind it up, and disperse it into the air, right? You know, it's not difficult.
Right, Superman. You don't know what this is, but I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, extra.
Yeah, but
Extra.
can you see the color?
It's
Oh, you
clear.
can't see the color.
Oh no, your green
My
screen's
background's
on.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, your green screen's on.
So it is the color green, not invisible.
It looks. I'm like, that's a transparent piece of plastic. No, it's green.
Never mind. The joke's dead. All right. Fair
So,
enough.
could you imagine kryptonite like in a perfume?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then you
Absolutely.
spray it on whatever her name is, his girlfriend,
Lois.
yeah, Lois Lane. And
Yep.
then you know he's like, "Oh, Lois," and then he's like swooning. She's like, "Oh, you're swooning for me." He's like, "No, I'm dying. You killing me. What's wrong?"
I'm sure there's a Smallville episode made that probably had that exact storyline.
So you know what?
I would bet on that.
We should talk to Joss Whedon and be like, "We're going to take your job. We're better. We can do this."
Oh, totally.
We could totally do this.
Totally.
I mean, what's better than kryptonite perfume? Dang. Okay, all right. We're gonna kill this one now. We're at 15 over. Thank you so much for joining me on the show tonight. Everybody out there in the audience, thank you for watching. And I think everyone was speechless after a while. So they're like, what's going on? But
we're goofing off. That's what's going on, guys.
That's right. I've had a wonderful time, and I look forward to having you on again whenever you want to come on. So maybe after some of these tent poles come out, we can chat about those and create some content, either pre-recorded or whatever, or live, whatever you want. I'm here for you. But everybody out there, please go subscribe. Shane at the Movies, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, man. Take care, guys.
See you.